All right, you make the call. Thwarting a bombing in this place worth tracking all these calls every place? Fox on top of snooping that prevented something over the top. The deputy FBI director telling Congress today the government's much maligned surveillance program helped foil a plot to blow up the New York Stock Exchange. And Sean Joy says that was just one among more than 50 terrorist plots stopped in their tracks because our government snoops were on the job. So, are you buying it? Today, we are all over it. Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is your world. And to hear Deputy FBI Director Joyce tell it, well, this is your scary world. So scary. The government has to now and then spy on you to help stop them. Them, of course, being the bad guys, the guys who want to kill us. And now the government is essentially saying, thanks to all of that snooping, you are breathing. So, Congress, you quit whining. Ahead of my exclusive chat at 8 p.m. with an original NSA whistleblower, Thomas Drake, who is not buying this, to former Congressman Ron Paul, who doesn't appear to be buying it either. The good congressman and presidential candidate of past, joining me on the phone. Congressman, what do you make of that? This saved lives.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't really believe that because I think they fudged the figures. You know, of those 50 plots that they stopped, I think 40 were minor plots overseas, for all that we know. So they stretched the point, and even these hearings today were a bit of a sham hearing because they had already decided what the results would be. But, you know, it wasn't too long ago that the New York Times reported on these 22 threats that they were supposed to have stopped, and 14 of them were orchestrated and started by sting operations by the FBI. So I think we should question, even this one dealing with the subway, I think even the president has questioned that, and he says that we can't be sure that the surveillance was able to stop that. So there's a lot of questions there. They have to try to justify their existence of destroying the freedom of and the privacy of the American citizens. Otherwise, they're out of work. You know.
And by the way, they were careful to say not necessarily this particular Verizon surveillance program was what prompted this discovery of this New York Stock Exchange plot. But having said that, they are trying to say this the yin and yang of this spying on folks, that you have to do things that you might not like just to keep people alive. What does Ron Paul say about that?
Well, you know, even that one major one, there was a lot of good police work that helped there. No, I don't think you have to do that. It's sort of like the old story about you have to burn the village to save the village,
right.
And they want to burn the Constitution to save the Constitution. And even today, Cole, the Deputy Attorney General, said, well, the Fourth Amendment doesn't apply to this. I mean, where did he get this brilliance to know when it applies and when it doesn't? Of course, the Congress is one that messed it up. They're the ones who passed the Patriot Act, so it's not just the administration.
Well, what do you think of that, Congress? Did the Patriot Act go further than it was originally intended to go, or was this the inevitable direction of an act meant presumably to keep us safe in the Bush years that just got abused in following years?
I think it was both. I think it went way too far. Even if they would have followed all the rules, I would have voted against it. But it's natural to assume that they were overstepped their bounds.
Right.
So, yes, if we can go to war and do all these other things and throw the Constitution out the window so casually, you better be sure if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile, and they're always going to paint themselves as heroes. So they have just saved us from all these attacks. But the one thing they don't do is ever ask the motivation for people wanting to kill us. I think we're in danger. I think people want to. I think there's some that would like to do a 9/11. But if you never ask the question, what motivates these people to do this, you're not likely to stop them. That's the first question they always ask if there's a murder. What's his motivation? Does he have a motivation? And that's what they don't ask. We're still supposed to believe, oh, they're going to come over and kill us because we're rich and free and we're nice people and they don't like nice people, so that's why they want to blow us up. But they need to ask the question, why are they so angry, willing to commit suicide and come over here and kill us? And if we don't ask that question, we can't ever stop these problems by just taking more liberties away from the American people. We're going in the opposite way. We've taken away the Constitution. We're supposed to be over there fighting to save our Constitution.
All right.
It's completely turned on its head.
All right, I'll put you down as a maybe on their testimony today. Congressman,
yeah, okay.
Thank you very, very much.